Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I am Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, like, subscribe. You know what to do. I've been hearing a lot of talk about the fallout from the John Gruden emails to Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen? You know what? It doesn't even really matter. Gruden to Allen, Washington football team, and all of their nastiness. And you keep hearing people. I won't even, you know what? I won't delegate. I won't say that they are defending Gruden or defending the actions of the Washington football team. I'm going to just say that they're misspeaking because they say things to the nature of, well, if we go and look at everybody's work emails back the last 10 years, you'll probably find something that they have to answer for. And the only thing I have to say to that is we are not the same. I was smart enough to know forever that you don't send personal, questionable, ridiculous stuff through your email at work. You don't send it to a work person's email. Even if you were on your personal email and you were talking to a friend and it was their work email, you don't send them questionable stuff over email. You do that for a reason, because the personal life is supposed to stay the personal life and the professional life is supposed to stay the professional life. Now, let's operate underneath the assumption that everybody did do questionable stuff or send questionable stuff through their work email. Then every single one of them should have repercussions. If everybody's been sending racist and sexist and homophobic things through their email, then they should be admonished for it. It doesn't make it okay that he sent it because there are others who may have sent it as well. If you did something that was below board, if you did something that wasn't right, if you were a scumbag, then you should pay for that. And it sucks that it has to be done 10 years removed from when it happened, or 15 years removed from when it happened, or 20 years removed from when it happened. But the reason it has to be done now is because it wasn't done then. If you hold people accountable when you're supposed to hold them accountable, none of this becomes an issue. Hey, guess what could have happened? John Gruden could have sent something out, right? He could have been slapped on the wrist. Hey, John, that's not right. Maybe it would have cost him his job at that particular moment. But 10 years later, he could have rehabilitated himself. He could have proved that that was an isolated incident, which is what he claims. And he could have moved on with his life and continued to thrive as a coach. He'd probably still be the Raiders coach right now. But because it was swept under the rug, but because the people who he was talking to in this professional setting didn't actually see something wrong with what he said, they didn't understand there was anything wrong with what he said. In fact, they were doing scumbag things back to him that had to get dealt with now. And it's a heavy price to pay publicly. It's a heavy price to pay publicly. But does John Gruden really care about being in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor? Is that going to affect his bottom line? He's already a millionaire. He's already stolen money from the Raiders for the last God knows how many years, when they paid him that god-awful contract for a dilapidated coach who hadn't been good in years, who hadn't actually coached football in years, and who, from all intents and purposes, the game had passed him by when he was coaching. That's why he was fired. So You think he really cares about being on the Buccaneers Ring of Honor? You think he really cares that he's no longer the Raiders head coach? Publicly, he's taking a hit. You don't go to jail for this type of behavior. So it's not like the ramifications are going to be him doing jail time. It's not like they can take his money back. He's going to go home to his $1 million+ home, kiss his wife, hug his grandchildren, go play on a boat, and he'll still get engagements to come speak that he'll be paid for. Somebody will still pay him to be Jon Gruden in some capacity. So publicly, yeah, he took a hit. But other than that, nothing happened to him. So then why are people trying to defend it? Oh, well, if they look through everybody's emails. No, we're not the same. Don't compare me to him. Don't compare other people out there to him, because not everybody is racist. So you can look at my work emails. You can go back to my school emails. When I was back in college, you can go back to the emails of the first time email ever came onto the scene. You can look at it all. You will not find one email about me being racist, because I'm not a racist. You're not going to find one thing about me being homophobic, because I'm not a homophobe. We're not the same. So to act as if, oh my gosh, well, everybody, what that tells me is you, people who say things like that, have questionable email at work. And to that, I would tell you, you might want to try to delete it. Just saying. You may want to try to get that up out of there. When we look at cases like Adam Schefter and Schefter sending emails to Allen and people getting in an uproar about it, there's two ways to look at it. Number one, you don't want to know how the sausage is made. There's a reason why Adam Schefter has all of this access. There's a reason why he breaks news faster than most others break news, is because he has a relationship with insiders. And with that relationship means you gotta pat each other on the back. You gotta, keep each other in the loop. And so he's sharing information with people ahead of time. Hey, this story is going to come out. They're sharing information with him. That's how the relationship is cultivated. And so, yeah, there's going to be a time where Schefter might send an email and say, hey, listen, I'm about to drop this out. Is there something I probably shouldn't put in there, or I should put in there? Where it gets tricky at, where the journalistic integrity comes into play, is, has Adam Schefter ever suppressed any of that information? Any of the information of things that have come out now, of how Jon Gruden behaves, of how Allen gets down? Was Schefter on any of those on any of those email where he sent out topless cheerleaders? Was Schefter on any of those emails with inappropriately speaking things? Did Schefter know about the nastiness, about the vileness that was going on inside of the Washington football team? Because if the answer is yes, now journalistic integrity comes into play, Adam Schefter. You must tell people your job as a reporter, not as an analyst, right? Not as an opinion maker, but as a journalist, is to report the truth, especially bringing the truth to light when you know it's hurting other people. So if he suppressed that, if he knew about that, that's a problem. If he was just sharing information and making sure that the person that was giving him information, was aware of the things that he was writing so he could keep that relationship, guess what? You might not like it, but if those relationships didn't exist, then you would not have any inside information being leaked. You think these people are just leaking this information because they don't like their job, or they're leaking this information because they want to stick it. No, these are how the relationships work. From the beginning of time, the media and the entity have always gone hand in hand. But it's understood by both parties that the media will report the truth. They won't sensationalize the truth. They won't alter the truth. They'll simply report the truth. This is nothing new. So if that's the case, Schefter hasn't done anything wrong. Is it an email you'd rather not see? Of course, because you don't want to know how the sausage is made. You don't want to know what goes into the sausage being made. You just want to enjoy the sausage. And that's the problem. We can't have our cake and eat it too when it comes to that, but we also can't sit around and act like we're the same, because we're not. And the act as if we're the same is essentially saying, well, everybody's a slime ball. Everybody's a scumbag. Everybody's racist. Everybody's homophobic. We know that's not true. We know it not to be true. And we won't stand for you trying to make it seem as if that's the truth. Punish the people who do things wrong. Don't try to change the narrative to take the focus off of what's important. Don't try to tell me about Eric Bieniemy's past, that he has suffered for, that he has been punished for, that he has been rehabilitated from. Don't tell me about that past in order to take my attention off of what's going on right now. That's what we do. Oh, well, if you don't like what Jon Gruden said, then you'll hate what Eric Bieniemy did. Nobody said you're wrong. But Eric Bieniemy admitted his guilt. Eric Bieniemy paid his debt to society. Eric Bieniemy is continuing to pay for that. But like I said earlier, if Gruden had been punished in the moment, it wouldn't be as bad. If he had shown contrition, it wouldn't be as bad 10 years ago. If he had had 10 years to put together a body of work that shows he's a better human being, it wouldn't be as bad. So what are we doing? Why are we always trying to look and point the finger back? Whenever there's something racist, we always try to point the finger back at Black people, especially in that situation. Black person gets murdered by a police officer. Well, Black people get killed every day in Chicago. Who's talking about Chicago right now? You don't think we hate the fact that people get killed every day in Chicago? Of course we do. We're not going to let you change the narrative. We're not going to let you try to throw everybody else under the bus. We are not the same. We never will be the same. And I personally will not stand for people trying to make it seem as if we're the same. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. We'll see you soon. Peace.